Posticino alla voce RadioBue.it. Today we have three special guests from the University of Sydney, two of them, and one of them is from University of Padua. They are here for the Food and Health Winter School. We already talked about this interesting period they are spending here, but they are the first three students of the winter school, so we are very excited to know what they are learning, why they are here, and why they decided to come to Italy to study these interesting topics. Welcome, Veronica, Georgia, and Ali. Ciao.
Hello.
Okay, how are you?
Good.
Good. Okay, it's like the end of the winter school, the end of the second week. So, what are your feelings about? We wanted to start. I don't know. Explain me the period you passed the year, the things you do.
I feel quite sad at the moment, thinking that this is the last day, and it has gone by so fast. 2 weeks of just...
Veronica, you're the one from you're the one studying in Padua, so
yes,
you're the Italian part of the group.
Yes,
okay.
Yes.
So it was strange. It was your first experience with other students, or the international students, or you maybe already done some international things?
Well,
Erasmus,
I graduated at an international master degree, so I did have some experiences with foreign students. And
with Australian ones?
No,
so
not specifically from Australia. So it was actually really interesting.
Okay.
And I'm very, very grateful.
Okay. Why you choose to do this winter school?
Right. So I graduated in cognitive neuroscience, and I've always been interested in nutritional neuroscience, which is the link between what we eat and how this affects our nervous system and neurodegenerative diseases, for example, Alzheimer's disease. And in Italy, this is not a very discussed topic. And unfortunately, in my studies in general, I've never had the chance to study nutrition. Okay. And I've always looked for an opportunity like this one. Okay. So a friend of mine actually emailed me, the link to the winter school, and I found out.
Just do it.
Just by chance, and yes. Okay.
Thank you, Georgia and Ali. You're from Sydney, so we don't know. Every time there's some people coming here to Italy, we talk about food and we talk about. But in this case, it's very particular because you are also studying it. But I know you are from two different courses at the university, so it's also interesting this thing. You are studying the same topic, but in two different ways, maybe.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
So, for me personally, I'm really interested in food processing and stuff. So there were quite a few lectures that were relevant to that.
Yeah.
So, mainly that's what I really enjoyed in this course, and I've definitely taken away a few things from it. And had a wonderful time here.
Okay.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay, great. Thank you, Georgia. What about you?
So I'm studying food and agribusiness, and I really found that this course is applicable to that, obviously, because of food and health, and that's what we're really looking at, encouraging more people in Australia to do. It was an added bonus that was also in Italy.
Okay.
So what a perfect opportunity, the country of food. So
2 weeks are not a big amount of time, but maybe you can return. I don't know.
Oh yeah, definitely. And the hospitality was wonderful too. So and we loved all of the experiences that we had, which was the lectures as well as the wonderful wineries and distilleries that we got to go to as well.
Okay. Was it interesting also to mix the experiences from different fields of studies? Because you come from, slightly different parts, let's say, of the,
Yeah. I think we had a lot of medical students, which was quite interesting, just seeing what they wanted out of this.
Okay, just measuring pressures, something like, are you okay every time you eat something?
And even Veronica and her background and nutrition, people that were very interested in nutrition, and then have even engineers. You'd think, why is this applicable to engineers? But it is, and they're the ones that make all of our food processes and all that type of thing. So you really sit there and go, this is very interesting. You're getting all these different perspectives.
So Ali, you have different levels of mixing things, different people from different part of the world and different topics. Was it like a little chaos sometimes, or was it clear every time?
No, I was definitely confused for the most part. I had to go back and read through the lecture notes and stuff. And yeah, like I do feel like a little bit of an outsider because there's only like maybe 3 or 4 engineers, and the rest is like medicine students, food and agribusiness students.
Okay.
So yeah, it did get a little confusing at times, but I definitely learned quite a few things.
I don't know how it is in Sydney, but here in Italy, in Padova also, I don't know if Veronica can confirm that, but there's not so many ways to mix this thing you study. So I think it for the Italian students I assume that
Yes.
it was interesting to do that.
Yes, the multidisciplinarity of the winter school, I think, was probably one of the most interesting aspects, because we all got to learn so much about one topic that kind of binds us all together, but is so generic, and it can be approached from so many different points of view that, you know, everyone is specialized on one aspect, and being able to integrate all the other sides of the topic, which is obviously food. It was
I understand you worked well, so that's the most important thing. And talking about Italy and hospitality, you mentioned that, Georgia. Was it a thing you should be proud about and tell your friends about it? I don't know. I think there will be a second edition, probably, very probably. So why your colleagues should apply to that, in your opinion?
I think it really opens up other aspects to what the big issues are with food and health. All of our degrees are very focused in one way or the other, and so you can be very narrow-minded on what you think the bigger issue is.
Okay.
Coming into a group where people have different ideas really opens up your mind to look at other ways and how you can probably change the way that you think and implement ways that you've learned into helping them do what they want to do, or they can help you give ideas on your area of expertise. Also, I just think the hospitality of Italians have been amazing.
Okay.
You always feel welcome. You always feel like you're at home. We have never
tell us one example. Tell us one example you lived of hospitality.
Well, like last night we went out drinking, and it was just so much fun, and we did it with a big group of Italians, and there were a few Australians there, and it was just really lovely to see how they go out and socialise and drink and what's important to them. I also think even all of our lunches that have been provided for us show that as well. We've had so much wonderful and delicious food. There's never been a shortage. They're always filling us up and getting us to try new things. And I think that's very important in a culture that you're not used to. So you've been wonderful in that aspect. You've always accommodated to us.
Okay. Why she said that you're not used to? In which way in Australia you're not used to this kind of thing, Ali, in your opinion?
Good question. She pretty much hit the nail on the head on everything. So
I don't know. Okay,
really
it's
sure.
whatever.
I think maybe like the difference is that food is very your focus in Italy is a lot about food, and that's what brings you all together. In Australia, I think for us, we have different things that bring us together. So it's not always food and that type of thing. In that way, we love to do social events, or we have a great drinking culture, and that brings us together. Or we'll go and go to watch sporting events and that type of thing.
Different things to do the same thing.
Different things. So like you really focus on food, we might focus on other activities, and I think that's just nice to see that food and wine for you guys really bring you together as a community or as a family, and that was really lovely to see.
We can go to lunch together if you want after that. Veronica, one last question for you. What the thing you were most excited to show to Australian students that come here about Italian culture, about the places you visited with them?
Right, so we took some of the Australian guys to have a brief tour in Italian supermarkets, for example.
Really?
Yes. Yeah.
I tried burrata cheese.
Yes.
Oh my god!
Yes, I told them you can't.
That's why you were speechless before.
Yes. We made them try both burrata and stracciatella.
Oh my god!
So, yes.
Yeah.
So we were just excited about the various small things that
Yeah.
kind of make our typical day. So our supermarkets and the markets in Padova, we have in Piazza dell'Erbe, we have fresh fruits and vegetables, and
Yeah.
just the way we all cook together. So we had dinner at my house, and we kind of like showed them just how we get together in typical student life.
The famous Italian pasta. and something
Yes,
like
yes,
that.
yes.
Yeah.
We had troffie with pesto. Yeah, we just had some typical Italian
Okay,
dishes.
wow, great.
So-
I missed this winter school, so next time I have to be there, not just interviewing you. Thank you guys very much.
Thank you so much for
Uh,
having us.
If you are planning to return in Padova, we will welcome again. And
Thank you.
so thank you very much again, and good luck. Ciao.
Thank you.
Thank
ciao.
you.
Ciao.
Ciao.